I just want to say, well, happy birthday for yesterday to a Julian. Jew, you are here, and I'm going to say it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jew. Happy birthday to you. There you go. So that was your yesterday birthday. Whether or not you wanted a yesterday birthday, you've got one today. And I sent you a card, and I thought it was hysterical. It was an hysterical card. It was a mashup. It was an electronic mashup which got you a song to be sung, and I really enjoyed it. So happy birthday to Jew from yesterday and into today. You're allowed a birthday week. I think we could make this week your birthday week, Jew. It's quite an important week though, actually, because it's World Mental Health Day week. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? Because how can it be a World Mental Health Day week when it's not World Mental Health Day till the 10th of October? But the way I see it, I'm just going to get a bit closer to the camera because I feel like I'm miles away, people. The way I see it is World Mental Health Day is an important day. It's so important that it should be made a week, and I'm going to make it that. It's also Dyslexia Week, right? And that's quite important for us. In that I'm a specialist educational teacher, needs teacher, so I'm a dyslexia tutor. In some of my worlds, I only support one student now, because of course our business kind of took off quite well. And what do I do for a living? Well, I run the Access to Work program in the UK. When I say I run it for Accessibility Partners. I don't run it for the government on account of the fact that they don't know who I am yet. But they will do. They will do. And they certainly know who our clients are. We have, well, over 400 clients actually have gone through our program in the last 22 months. We are approaching a seven-figure turnover because so many people have managed to get their amazing equipment from us, and their equipment comprises of things like a personal mobility device. They might get software or hardware. It might be a desk, a chair, ergonomics assessments, all those things. And I run Accessibility Partners. If you want to get hold of us, we're at www.a, that's an A, number 2, w.me. Access to Work.me. Access to Work Me. Access to Work is a UK government programme that supports people who are in work, wanting to be self-employed and to start their own business, or those actually that may want to go and get a job. If you can get a job for an hour a week and you're over 16, you've got a disability, then you are entitled to apply for the Access to Work programme, and we can help you circumnavigate it. Don't do it on your own. I really wouldn't do it on your own. I wouldn't do it on my own. I wouldn't do it without us. And I would say that many people, including people that I met yesterday, said that they've applied 3 times and failed how many? 3 times. And I said, well, exactly what I was just saying before they told me that they'd failed 3 times. So we put their application in yesterday. And so I'm going to talk about World Mental Health Day because it's not just physically disabled people like me that can apply for access to work. And it's not just physically disabled people like me that can join inclusion. And we are in inclusion tonight, not in MJ's house. You might have been here Saturday. We have MJ's house on a Saturday. We do belonging in business on a Saturday because we all belong in business, even on a Saturday. And then on Monday morning, as you are still here in MJ's house, we carry out a motivational Monday. And we start at 6. Why? Because we should all start at 6. If you've read the 5 a.m. Miracle Morning, you'll know that after you've done your hours Miracle Morning rituals, that it's 6 a.m. So why not start with some motivational Monday? And we had a great song to start with, didn't we? I'm going to have a good day, no matter what they say. And at the end of the day, that's it, isn't it? It's about the choices that we make, no matter what situation you're in. You know, Viktor Frankl wrote Logotherapy. Viktor Frankl was a gentleman whose entire family were killed in the death camps of World War II, and he was there too, but he walked out, and he walked out with logotherapy under his belt. He'd imagineered logotherapy and written the images for logotherapy. It's a visual diagrammatic method of therapy, and he designed that in the Nazi death camps. So no matter what's happening, right, try and have a good day, no matter what they say or what's happening in your life, because we can make a decision just to be grateful for the fact that we are still breathing. I'm Mandy Jane, and I stopped breathing in 2019. I had it was during the COVID crisis. Double pneumonia and double pleurisy finished me off, and I was intubated in York District for a number of weeks. 3 times, actually, a bit like the application lady that didn't make it with access to work. 3 times my heart stopped, and 3 times I was brought back to this world, and I think it was for a reason. And one of them is to talk about World Mental Health Day today, so I'm going to. Do you know it's observed on the 10th of October every day, which I've already alluded to. So that means that it's happening on Thursday, Thursday. But we're not here on Thursday. So I want to bring it to your attention now so that you can all start celebrating World Mental Health Day, so that we can raise awareness and that we can promote good mental health globally. Do you know that 1 in 4 people experience mental health challenges in their life, and there are 450 million people living worldwide with mental health challenges. Depression is the leading cause of disability globally. It's affecting 264 million people of all ages, according to the World Health Organization. And anxiety disorders are also some of the most prevalent. Again, 284 million now people. That's another 20 million more. Doesn't sound a lot, does it? But 20 million people more are affected with anxiety and often co-occurring depression. You know, there's stigma and discrimination against individuals with mental health disorders. It's worse everywhere else than it is in England, but it's pretty poor in England as well. Many won't get the help they need, and that really includes a lot of men. Suicide is a global issue too, and 800,000 people die by suicide each year. It's the leading cause of death amongst 15 to 29-year-olds, and it's getting worse. In Wales, well, not in Wales actually, from Wales, some young people that were put into a mental health institution in Scotland recently collected together and took their own life in a wood because they didn't feel that the world had anything for them. And COVID-19 that I talked about, you know, I was in hospital during COVID-19 in 2019 and 20, and it has worsened our mental health conditions worldwide. We've got increased rates of anxiety and depression and stress due to further isolation and the uncertainty and the impact of the economy. So I say have a good day no matter what they say, but it's not easy with those stats, right? And it's important that we talk about this, and it's important that we talk about it really, really honestly and authentically and openly. We know that mental health literacy, knowing about what mental health is and what good mental health is, allows early intervention. It means that we are reducing those long-term impacts of mental health disorders. But we know that there is so much information lacking in society, in the world, in the UK, and actually in our everyday conversations. The plan from the World Health Organization up to 2030 says that we are going to be carrying out 4 objectives. This was from 2013, so they're not new. These are not new objectives, which is promoting mental well-being, preventing mental disorders, providing care, and enhancing research and evidence-based practice. That's what we're doing, and that's what's needed, and that's why we have to have these conversations in these rooms about these things. Look, it's worse even for me. It's worse for men. Men do not feel that they can speak up because they've got to man up. And women are putting up and shutting up because actually there's so many pressures upon them. And as for those individuals that don't identify as male or female, well, the rates of suicide for our trans individuals is just frightening. And those that have thought about suicide are over 3/4 of those individuals that have thought about ending their life. And this comes in the ahead of the 17th of October, I think it is, but don't hold me to the date, where there's a second reading of our Dignity in Death request for a law change. And whilst I appreciate that people who are terminal, people who are dying, people who have life-limited conditions are in a position where they are heading towards what's looking like a not very comfortable demise, that they really do want to have the right to choose when they expire. Actually, those kinds of programs, that kind of change, that kind of law lends itself to a challenge for me. I feel that that mental health well-being is a pillar of our community. We need to use it as something that we uphold, and medical assistance in death, I'm afraid, is at the thin end of the wedge of making, because we're too sad or too poor, legitimate reasons for ending our days. I am Mandy Jane, as I've explained, and I'm going to ask some questions today. But before I do, I'm going to explain that in my early days, because my dad went under a bus and died 6 weeks later, I was 17. I spent a short period of time in a mental health hospital. You might say, well, are you surprised? No, I wasn't. I came from a traumatized background, a single parent family. I'd not had my dad in my life for a lot of years. And then after 13, actually, and then I got a phone call and a visit from the police to say that my father was in Middlesbrough General and had gone under a bus, and he was on life support machine. It took life support. It took 6 weeks for his brain to be recognised as not being available, and I turned his machine off. At that time, it would have been really easy to have decided that my life wasn't worth living. It would have been really easy to say I'm a kidney patient. It would have been really easy to say that really it's not worth me staying around. And if medical assistance in death, if dignity in dying had been around, and maybe at the next stage, beyond we're just going to let people that are terminal pass away at their own choice, maybe I'd have made a choice to not be here. And whilst I had the 6 weeks with my dad, and we waited to turn his life support machine off until his brain was not responding. Well, I know a boy that I met on Clubhouse who was in that position, and his dad said no to turning the life support machine off before they said his brain was dead. They said it was unlikely that he was ever going to recover, and he was in a vegetative state. His name is Ryan Nurse, and he's written a book because he's still alive. And Ryan's dad said, if his brain's alive, we're leaving him alive because we never know. And Ryan woke up. So those 6 weeks, and he's well, and he's capable, and he's abroad, and he's written a book, Sort Your Shit Out. And Ryan is full of life. He's the most full of life individual, really, that I've met on Clubhouse. So Ryan Nurse, shout out to you, my love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for shouting your life out to the world, and thank you for your book In This World. Sort Your Shit Out is a great book for young people who want to be motivated to move forward, and Ryan Nurse is a coach for those young people who don't feel that they've got a life that they deem is worth living. Ryan, you are taking some of the slack, and I am grateful for you to meet these young people. You know where they are. If you want to send them our way and they've got a mental health problem, then just send them to Accessibility Partners, and as well as your coaching, we'll be able to apply for their Access to Work program. You know, it's important that we have lots of hints and tips and tricks for maintaining our mental health well-being, and Sort Your Shit Out is a book that will tell you those hints and tips and tricks. But for those of you that don't want to buy Ryan's book, you can always just pop that into Google. can I have some practical tips for maintaining my mental well-being? Or you could go and try a little AI and download a free version of ChatGTP and ask that. My chatbot is an incredible thing. In fact, let me try it for you. Let me do this for you. Let's see if we can make it talk. Okay, ChatGTP, please tell me 10 tips for maintaining my mental health well-being. Let's see what she says.
Here are 10 tips for maintaining your mental health and well-being. 1. Stay active. Regular physical activity, like walking, yoga, or exercise, can boost your mood and reduce anxiety and stress. It doesn't have to be intense. Just moving your body helps. 2. Talk about your feelings. Open up to friends, family, or a mental health professional. Sharing what you're going through can help lighten the emotional load. 3.
Now, I'm hoping that you can hear that. If you couldn't hear that, then ChatGTP literally just gave me 10 reasons why I should be promoting my own mental health well-being and how to do that. I literally just asked ChatGTP to write those out, and they already have. And she said, what did she say? Stay active, talk about your feelings, take regular breaks, maintain a routine, eat nutritious food. Believe me, I am helping you with that. Limit your social media. Carve your time out like I am here 2 or 3 times a week, maybe. Practice mindfulness or meditation. I do that every day, I assure you. And do something that you enjoy. I'm doing it now. I am here with you in Clubhouse and live on social media. Whilst you're here on social media and Facebook or LinkedIn, indeed, or Twitter or Twitch or YouTube, just pop a message in the chat and let me know that you're here. It's great to see Rasul and Nina and Camilla, and I know it's Camilla even though it's girl in charge. I know it's Camilla, and it's great to see Alexia and James and our Jew. What am I like? But listen, these are the challenges of the day. World Mental Health Day is about us speaking to each other about the problems that we've got and sharing the ways that we do stay motivated. The problem that I've got is that less than 1% of the health budget, and I'm saying that for Alexia because she's on Health Watch, less than 1% of the budget, the health budget, is allocated to mental health care. So how do we expect our 284 million anxious people and our 264 million depressed people to really make any headway with recovery? I think 1 in 4 people are affected this week and every week, and it's just going to increase. So I believe that we have to work in society to bring us all together, to bring us together for events, bring us together for meetings and collaborations and doing new things, all those things that might make a life deemed to be worth living. And inclusion, that's what we do. And we're there at 7 o'clock tonight. So if you want to come along, we are in Inclusion's house, not in MJ's house, on a Monday night at 7 o'clock. And we would love to see you there, where we will be talking about all things World Mental Health Day, but also we're going to be bringing on board the Dyslexia Week, which is what we've got this week. And many people who are neurodivergent, who experience dyslexia in their life or some form of learning difficulty, often have anxiety and depression because the world just isn't made for us. But we're making it in a different way. Inclusion by design is the way that we are moving forward, and we're moving forward fearlessly every day. So I guess my questions today, and I am going to pass over to the wonderful moderators on the stage and hear from them, because it's a conversation, right? No point in me screaming into the void for the whole of the morning when actually it's about us. It definitely is. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not even about we, because if it was just we, that'd be me and you. But it isn't. It's about all of us together. It's about the us. It's about inclusion. And we know that inclusion is the only foregone conclusion that we need to worry about. We've just got to work our way there. Between here and now, there's a big gap, 284 million people gap, just for mental health without our physical challenges. But, we can get there by having conversations like this. So I'm going to say good morning to an Alexia. Long time no see, mate. I spoke to you yesterday.
Yeah, I know. We need to get together, don't we? We really do. You sleep better last night, my friend.
I did. Did you?
I know you did. 'Cause I think one of the first things I should do is tell people what Health Watch is.
Yes.
Because there's probably many people out there that don't know what it is. Health Watch was put together to help see what the pitfalls are in running this fantastic system we have called healthcare. But what gets forgotten in this is that there's so many sides to it. It's like a field of many different colour carrots, and there are many different coloured carrots. There's not just red carrots, there's black carrots, there's yellow carrots. And we have to make this system work for all of us. And this is the big challenge that MJ was talking about with access to work as well. Because I've gone from wealthy to waking up with absolutely nothing in the bank. And that is a mental health issue. I got diagnosed 3 months ago now with everything that is wrong with me. And what I mean by that is I had challenges all my life, from polio, dyslexia, sight problems. It's been given a name, but my brain went, hey, what? This is something new. You got to learn to deal with it. The blog that's going out shortly is called Why Talk About a Golden Earth? A golden earth is where all life begins and all life ends. Below that, I'm talking about the pandemic. Why have I brought that subject up? I was out shopping and there were two ladies complaining about what they hadn't got. How did we come through the pandemic? We come through the pandemic by being in a rich country. We just printed money to make sure you had money to pay your bills and buy your food. There's got to be a knock-on effect. If you spend more than you should on a holiday, you're going to have to pay for that. This is what we're having to do now. And because we've been greedy, it has upset the whole balance. The pandemic was a living thing on this planet, which caused the pandemic. It has just as much right to be here as we do. There's so many things we don't know. So we always have an opportunity with what we do with our mental health. And MJ said something I thought was really important. Get out there and do something. I've written in the back channel there to say, what can you do to help you? It's get out and move. It's what she said. It's what Chat DDG said. Oh God, I can't say that.
GTP. It's the hardest thing to say, isn't it, Alexia? Good morning, Julie.
It is really difficult to say, and I can't say it this early in the morning. I give up, I submit.
Chat GTP says yes, she failed. The AI won.
Yeah. So this is so many ways we can fail. MJ could have run away when I first met her and thought, God, what are they talking about? Handbike. But she didn't.
No. When
I woke up and found I got nothing in the bank, and I got somebody to come from my bank to see me because I was a very wealthy customer with that bank. He said, I'm not leaving you till you promise me you don't commit suicide from what's happened to you.
Exactly.
I've got a few challenges going on right now, which I'm not going to bring up in this room. But if I chose to, they could make or break me. But they're not going to, because there is always two sides to every story. And I always have a choice of how I deal with what goes on with me, around me, and to me. So in this time of challenges, because it is going to get better for a while, financially, physically, or mentally, because of the pandemic we went through. And if you want to look at history, go and look at wars. You can look at wars today, and you will see the same challenges that we are going through right now. So you always have a choice how you deal with these things. So there's one simple thing you can do: show love and kindness. And I think I'd better let someone else have a say. Because otherwise we're going to get told off by you again, aren't we?
We are. Well, the thing is, I understand it. The boys just sit there on the stage like good lads. They just stay quiet. They let us babble on endlessly. There's no doubt Camilla will be laughing in the audience now, just like Julie will. She's coming. She's like, nothing's changed. We're still here. There's still an MJ and an Alexia banging on at 6 o'clock in the morning. But the thing is, now we're banging on social media. We're on Facebook Live, Julie, if you want to come up. We're also on LinkedIn. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter, and we're in Clubhouse. Like, we are literally everywhere. Just so that she knows, we're talking about World Mental Health Day. I realise there's a title at the top, and the reason that the link to AP is there is because James, I believe, has very beautifully popped it up there. I'm guessing it's James. I'm just gonna put a wild stab in the dark that it's our James, because of course the Access to Work program is really important. And I was speaking to somebody yesterday who's had 3 attempts at it and failed all 3 of them. And I'll be honest, he's paraplegic. She's a teacher. She's a specialist. She's a great person. She's doing a master's in psychotherapy. She's passed all of her assignments. She's just got a practice to do. She's done 200 hours, I don't know, lots of hours with children. She's got some more to do with adults, 70 odd hours left. And she said to me, I don't know why yesterday, I don't know why I just keep trying. I just keep going. I said, because I need you. It's lonely on my own. I need more entrepreneurs. I need more people to apply for their Access to Work program through us. And don't do it on your own, people. But she's now self-employed, and she's going to be providing therapy for neurodivergent individuals, particularly spinal injury individuals. She was in Stoke Mandeville, and her research is on spinal injuries. And, we were talking about Make Love Not Porn, actually, she and I. The reason is because I'm an investor in Make Love Not Porn, which is a socially responsible sex sharing site. But Make Love Not Porn is opening the Make Love Not Porn Academy. Now, for those that follow me on social media, go and have a look, because on Friday Cindy Gallop and I are live on Facebook talking about Make Love Not Porn, and also talking about good food and pure food and healthy food and stuff that we're going to be launching through our new inclusion web shop, which is about to be launched. We're having a good meeting today to tidy things up. It's that time of the year where everything gets finished, and I've been working tirelessly all weekend to get our testimonials up. So our new inclusion website, which we're in inclusion tonight at 7 o'clock, is going to be launched any minute. It's looking sexy. The testimonials are amazing. I still need a picture of you, Alexia. I also need one of you, James, which I'm gonna steal. I also need one of you, Ju, actually. In fact, the 3 of you. I haven't got your testimonials up there yet. I've got a little note from Alexia, but no video and no picture. So I'm looking forward to those, and the website itself is looking fantastic. And I want to say thank you to Camilla and her team for allowing us to work with them. I'm very grateful. They are really very, very effortful, and I'm glad that I chose them to help us open our web shop and develop things for inclusion. AP funds that web shop. It's AP that's helped Inclusion start that web shop. So we are inextricably linked. So every time somebody gets help with Access to Work, well, Inclusion wins, because if there's software that people get, they get a little kickback. Inclusion gets some money, and then whatever Inclusion needs, effectively, if AP can manage it, then we fund it ahead of any funding grants, because we need some flow, right? And I'm afraid that the 287, I think it is, whatever it is, million people that are experiencing mental ill health in the world, those in Wales, those in England, need us now. They don't need us in 10 years' time. They don't need us in 2030. It's all right who having a mental health plan up to 2030, but we're experiencing that now, as Alexia has explained. When something happens, it just gets you. And when it gets you, it can topple you. If you're not careful and you don't have people around you and you don't have people to support you, it can be something that just becomes too overwhelming for words. I've been there. I've ended up in a psychiatric unit. I was also on antidepressants for many years, up until actually 2020, from the age of 17, with a few gaps, but not many. This is the first time in my life that I've been without any form of anxiety medication, depression medication, antidepressant, or some pharmaceutical drug that managed my mental well-being. I'm managing it myself. I'm managing it through the things that I've done, the food that I eat, the amount of sleep that I get, as Alexia has talked about, the way that I move, the exercise that I do. Already done that this morning. My meditation, my self-care. I look after myself because I'm important to me. I've got to say that I don't think I could be important to me while I was taking mental health drugs, because it turned off my feelings, which helped me to stay in the world, but it didn't help me to stay within me. I didn't really ever know who I was whilst I was taking mental health drugs. I just knew what I had to do. Now I'm learning who I am. And actually, I think it's probably the first time in my life that I've ever really been able to be me, which is fascinating. That I'd say that the last 4 years has been the beginning of my life. So maybe when I say I'm not even 5, maybe it's true. Maybe I'm speaking quite literally, that I feel like at this age I've only just got started. Thank you, Alexia. You inspire me every day.
Can I just put one comment?
Of course you can.
Tell people how this affects you. I had to put that letter in to get support, and my brain has rebelled against saying mental health issues with the doctor.
I bet.
And it's still rebelling against it.
I bet.
But we go through this every day of our life with challenges, with financial issues. And I just want people to realise that this is something that everybody deals with, whether you're out in mask or whether you're on the verge of living on the streets.
Yeah.
We all have that challenge, and it comes and goes. And that is quite normal.
It is.
The important thing is how you deal with it.
100%. Do you know, I'm glad you said that, Alexia. I'm glad, because I felt the same. There was so often that I wouldn't say that I'd experienced the mental health institution, that I'd been, on a mental health ward. And yet, ironically, yesterday, a gentleman you've met, actually, he helped us at the last event in Cardiff, rang me and said, I've been ringing him for the last 8 weeks, really worried about him. I didn't know anyone else to contact. His wife's not in this country. He's no longer with any other members of the family. He was an orphan. He was adopted by the nuns. He was in fostering all of his life. He doesn't know who his mum and dad is, and I couldn't get hold of him, and I was really worried. And he rang me yesterday and said that I went to a PIP tribunal. He wouldn't let me go. I'd prepared him. He took somebody from the law service, and because they lied, actually, they told untruths about him, he ended up responding and talking about why it wasn't true. He was sectioned for 8 weeks. So that gentleman has been put into hospital because he got so irate at the fact that the court was denying what had happened, and he didn't have anyone from AP or inclusion with him. He did have an advocate, and so he wanted to let them go into the court, which was great. The problem is that he ended up being sectioned for 8 weeks. There wasn't a hospital bed at Landock in Wales, so he was taken down to the other end of the country, and then when he was there, he didn't have any cards or any money or any way of getting back, and he was put on a train and got back yesterday. The first person he rang was me. Interestingly, he is now being made homeless, because whilst he was away, the landlord didn't know what had happened. They put in an eviction notice. Anyway. So he is at the position where now they have got a fast track fast track eviction notice, and he's going to have to be moved into some form of accommodation next week. And this is the thing, this is the impact. Okay, so it isn't just the fact that somebody experiences a mental health undulation, which can be instigated by a situation such as a court appearance, losing everything to fraud, your dad dying under a bus, whatever it might be. Perfectly ordinary, well, tragic, but happenings that happen to people every day. People die tragically every day. People are defrauded every day, millions of them every day. I will share something shortly, just not yet. Every day, people, clever people, people who know better, people who should know better, are overwhelmed by the fact that they're these anyway. There's fraud. It's normal. It's becoming more commonplace. In fact, there's a new law just come out, which means that the banks are having to start to repay from the 7th of October today. Actually, banks are being charged to repay those people who they have not maintained communication with effectively when large amounts of money are being moved from their bank account by them under duress, or by them under the belief that everything is all right. The banks are having to take some responsibility for those people being duped. So these are all ordinary things, but they can, I say ordinary but tragic things, they can all unsettle and break people if we are not working together to recognize this, and that people like Alexia don't feel comfortable saying, I have experienced mental health difficulties. Then where are we at? And what does that tell us about the trauma, about the bias, about the shame, about the guilt, about the discombobulation of saying, I have experienced mental health challenges? We feel less than. We feel like society will not turn around and think that we are relevant. Well, I can tell you now that I am a professional, I am qualified, and I am capable. However, I also experience mental health challenges, and that ain't going to change. I have a predisposition to experiencing those things, and unless I move right, sleep right, drink right, eat right, talk right, poop right, and all of the others, there's one that I've forgotten there, then I'm not going to maintain my equilibrium, and it is going to be challenging. So I would say to you, Alexia, I'm grateful to you for sharing that you feel that frustration, that difficulty, that challenge, that being stuck, because it's the same as recognizing you're disabled, right?
Yeah, I want to. I hope people understand this, but we sat and put that form in yesterday, and I've got to put a couple of bits in there, like the doctor's details, because if I don't, he won't. But my body and mentally, my mind is still rebelling against this.
Of course it is.
I feel like a naughty child that wants to kick something.
Yep.
And I'm only bringing this up because people do this, but they don't actually want to mention it.
No.
It is quite normal.
It really is.
What's not normal is when you can't see what you're doing, and that is when you need mental health support.
Exactly. When you can see the challenge, you are managing your mental well-being. When you can no longer see it, and other people are telling you, and they're people that you trust and love, and they're telling you something that you don't want to hear, and they're telling you again and again, that's often an indication that it's possibly time that some extra help's a good idea for a wee while. That doesn't mean it's forever.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It genuinely doesn't. And that's the problem. We pathologize mental ill health, and actually, many times it's a normal physiological, psychological, and psychosocial reaction to really difficult situations that you might need a hand from other people with, because we're no good on our own.
We're not, and we don't have all the answers.
We don't, not on our own, especially not when we're experiencing really great, massive undulations like losing everything, or losing a loved one, or being really ill, or being told we've got cancer, or that we're going to have our breast removed. You know, one of my clients yesterday messaged me and said, it is cancer. I am talking about chemo, and I am going to lose both breasts. And I said, well, do you know what? It's shocking and it's terrible, and you're only young, but reconstruction's amazing. I know a great girl that does tattoos for nipples, and what size are you going to be? Because seriously, when they reached out, they didn't want to hear, oh, well, that's the end of you then. They wanted to hear something beyond the cancer, right? Which is the reconstruction. And then they said to me, well, does that mean I can go without a bra afterwards? And I said, oh, no, if you get them bigger anyway, they're going to sag anyway if you don't wear a bra. So get a bra on. They were like, oh, no, I don't want to wear bras. So we'd moved on from breast cancer, and we've moved into who wants to wear a bra. That'll be nobody. Exactly, nobody wants to wear a bra. But there we are. You know, it can happen any day. And if they didn't have somebody to reach out to, what that might have meant may have been that they went into that spiral of depression where actually the only thing they could think about was the fact that cancer might mean death. Well, lots of people live with cancer now. Cancer is something that we live with. It's not something that we need to die over, to be honest. Most of the time in the UK now, most cancers are curable, manageable, or retractable. We can fight them. So it's not a death sentence. It's a happening, just the same as all the other things we're talking about. Thank you, Alexia. I'm very grateful. James, good morning. We have still got 15 minutes, and we've got two beautiful gentlemen and a wonderful Camilla in the audience if she wants to come up. It's a small, intimate room this morning. I think most people, it's come to October and they're all in bed, I'll be honest. This 6 o'clock, people are like, oh, it's dark mornings. I'm in bed. The sun's not up here yet. And I'll be honest, I'm glad, because it means that my day started. I've already had my miracle morning hour. I have spent meditation. I am ready. I'm drinking my coffee. I've got my water. I'm ready for my day. I've had a morning meeting, and I'll be honest, we are still winning. We are winning. James, how are you this morning? You're winning. I've just seen an email from you. Good morning.
Yeah, no,
World Mental Health Day, eh?
World Mental Health Day, yes, a Thursday. I did actually I retracted it. I nearly worked out that it was Wednesday, but
oh, is it? Oh, never mind.
Then that calendar was on. No, it's Thursday. I was trying to type and do about 16 things at once, and now I finally got the gym bag ready that's holding the door open because I is about 10 minutes off getting on that wonderful bus to
yes.
the yellow bus to the gym.
My shopping's coming at 7. My shopping's here at 7. Perfect.
Don't tap your face too hard on the screen because when that red bar comes up, I'd nearly twice pressed that red bar this morning by mistake, so we could have all left a lot earlier. But yeah, it's World Mental Health Day, and I'm not losing the plot. I'm really excited about where my journey's taking me, because I know where I've been, and it was another hospital, as MJ's mentioned, and I've got a trophy on the wall for my biggest failure. It's a glass storage vessel, but I'm not going to mention what was in there and what was done and all of these things, but it got me to a very good failure in that I'm still here, and
proud of you.
And I got out of that hospital, and they did mask a lot of my illnesses at the time with some tablets, and that's perfectly fine that doctors do that. But I realised that they weren't personally working for me. I've always take medical advice, and then always give them responses, polite but firm responses. I like to give my wonderful doctors, and they really listen well, because they realised I was a zombie for a good 18 months of my life. I was just literally going to the furniture factory and drifting through in robot mode, and literally going home, staring at the ceilings and just waiting for tomorrow to arrive to eat, sleep, repeat. Kind of Groundhog Day, really. But all of the people around me were very supportive, because they knew the person that I was. And now that person's back, and that person is much stronger than ever, really, because of the challenges I've faced. I've had a few employers that have said, on your bike, and I've listened to them, because I've got a few bikes here, and they're all in pretty good condition, and I have the ability to put many more on the road in my local community to help people afford to cycle and recycle their lives and move forward to a better life from the darkness. And as I walk outside, it is fairly dark today, but there's them lovely orange leaves are on the trees this morning, and that awful yellow sign in the distance I see with the red and white logo underneath it. But I won't be dining there today. I'd never bother with that rubbish. I've got my flask of coffee and my lime water ready for the gym.
Nice.
And I'm going to hit that very shortly, because it's about a 3-minute walk to the bus stand, and the bus is at least 10 minutes off. So
Oh,
I
James.
just want to wish Julian a happy birthday. It came up extremely late on my social media yesterday. I was like, thank God I didn't miss that one. I was like, how the heck does when I'm posting as much wonderful stuff that I post, especially in Halloween, that Julian's stuff comes up so late, and I managed to get but I think by the time I'd sent my message last night, Julian, you're probably in the land of dreams. But yeah, it's beautiful to see everybody here today. It's kind of like being surrounded by my dream team, really. So I'm looking forward to where it takes, and I've got to send another email off about an old trailer and try and get that recycled somewhere. So I will wish you all a great onward journey today, and I'm going to get the bag of stuff together and try not to spill my coffee all the way to the bus stop.
Enjoy the
Have a
bus.
beautiful day, everybody.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
bus and getting on the bus. I'm glad you can get on the bus. And I'm really
Hopefully the bus with the bright lights on, because I'll read that wonderful book that I'm on about page 3 of, which is something about the body keeps the score.
Oh, yes. What a book. Proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you. Anyone that hasn't read that book, get it on audio, get it on physical, get it on however you can absorb it. Ask ChatGTP to summarize it, and I'll tell you, you will learn some stuff. The Body Keeps the Score. If you read that, and along with Metabolic, I honestly believe that you will have your physical health and your psychosocial health attached to your physical health sorted. It is the greatest book you will read about your trauma and how it's trapped. And James, as you read that book, I want you to book in with me and think about booking in for an EFT tapping session, because although we've only run round the tapping clock once, I know that once you read that book, you'll understand why we need to use those reflexology points and a therapeutic session to talk through some of those challenges. And I would say the same for you, Alexia, and even the same for you, Arju. No matter which bit of now you're on the baclofen, we might even be able to get you tapped to the right place. I'm going to say good morning to you. We've got 10 minutes and we've got 2 people on the stage. It's perfect. 5 minutes apiece. Good morning, Jew. Can I sing happy birthday whilst you are unmiking? We will see. Happy birthday. Oh, he's here. He's winning. Jew, you just don't want to hear my dulcet tones, do you now?
MJ, I always want to hear them.
Did you get your card? Did it make you laugh?
Where did you send it?
It was in the, you see, it's all this modern stuff. It's because you're old, yeah? It's a modern thing called an e-card, and it's in your messenger. And when you said, where was it? I sent it again and said, it's here. And then I said, it's here. And then I said, it's above here. And then I said, it's here. And it was you just have to press on the video and then the man will sing to you. Did you press on the man that sang to you?
How fun.
Oh, I'm going to send it to you again, and then you can play it on Messenger and you can have it as a belated birthday present, and it's really funny. So anyway, you need to listen to it. So enjoy your birthday mashup a day late. I like everything being late, but at least we ordered your coffee on your birthday, didn't we?
Yeah.
We ordered my coffee on my birthday too, and my tea. There's no red tea, but there was green tea, and you can only buy 3 boxes at once. So I did 4 orders while I was with you.
Green tea, there's only one place that should go.
Down my throat, because it's got 100 times cordyceps that you can get anywhere else, and I want to be strong. All right.
Yeah.
I know you don't like green tea, but the thing is, green tea likes you. All right, you'll understand one day. The green tea it likes you, Jew. Anyway, World Mental Health Day. Do you ever? Have you ever? What do you think about it?
Well, I can't say I've ever suffered with it.
Oh, really?
To my knowledge,
Yeah.
anyway.
Can I be honest? Can I? Can I? Do you want to hear what I've got to say? It's about you.
My silence should be speaking volumes.
Is that a no then?
It's a yes.
Oh, gosh, you see, I can't tell. I just need it explicit because I'm a bit autistic. No, I'm very actually. I'm just neurodivergent, whatever that means. I think it just means that I need it straight and I give it straight. So, yeah, what I'm going to say is this, that during some of the times that I've known you, like when they rammed you in hospital and you didn't know you were going, and when you had family members that it was a bit difficult, and when you ended up feeling that actually there wasn't anyone there, and then when your bill got to, in that care home you're in, got to like arrive on the doorstep, I think there's been some times when your mental well-being has been challenged. I think you're incredibly resilient, but I do believe that it's been about the connections you've made and the spaces that you've gone and the places that you've talked and the fact that you keep on sharing that's kept you well. What do you think?
Well, I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. And I'm proud of the fact that you rocked up at Sharon's room every morning, that you rocked up at Pete's room every morning, that you're still here, that you speak to me first thing, that we're still on this Access to Work train, and that you've seen that other people have succeeded with it. Not yet with you, I agree, but that those blocks are just boulders in the road that we're going to get over to get to the next bit, right?
Yes.
That's what I am proud of you for, because you are as goddamn dogmatic as I am. You will not give up. If you decide you want something, you are resilient and relentless. A warrior like our James. That's what I admire with you, G. I do. You're not a superhero, but you're bloody super. You are super.
Thank you,
No.
sweetheart.
You are welcome. I love you very much, and that can never change. So keep on keeping on today, and get some bloody coffee sold, man. Come on, help those poor old people have some health. Feed them spores. When we get the stress drops, start feeding them to the old people, but only with their permission, obviously. I'm going to move on to the great Camilla because we've got 5 minutes for a Camilla. 4 minutes. Camilla, go. Good morning. She's not there. Oh, she is.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I love hearing your voice first thing in the morning.
I just had a question for everyone.
Oh, good.
When is depression a disability? I have been thinking a lot about this because when I have experienced this in my surroundings and way back in my addiction, when is depression then a disability, when you can't handle things yourself? And I also can see that I lost a lot of friends to pharmaceuticals. Like, first they were kind of not able to do anything because they were depressed, and then they get a ton of medication and they never got their life back. And for me, that is the real question of biochemistry. And is there a biochemical disability
Yes.
that we actually can fix.
Yes.
And is there a biochemical disability that we never can fix? Is that what the pharmaceutical industry wants us to believe? Like we have a biochemical disability that they can fix, but we can't. And let us believe that. I have a total different experience, like the other way around, that the medication cannot fix the biochemical disability. I need to fix it with nutrition. I need to fix it with how I treat myself and who I surround myself with and who I ask for help. And one of the biggest things and experience I had over the years with other people and with myself is that compassion is everything to get a platform to actually heal from this temporary disability. And when am I entitled to get the right, correct help? And why is it that we have queues long as you can't even imagine in all countries everywhere? And why is it that we allow people to be disabled? And I have a very personal opinion on that, and that is because people that are afraid or dependent are much easier to control.
Absolutely.
And for me, that is the most scary part with the world right now. I think that we kind of give up on ourselves, and we don't have the ability sometimes to get out of that biochemical disability that depression can be, and we have no one to talk to. And one of the biggest things with that is shame. And last night I was kind of crushed before I went closed my screen. Before I closed my screen and everything like that, I saw a post on LinkedIn from a man, probably my age, or a bit younger actually, that wrote, "This might be the most important post you ever read on LinkedIn." And then he told everything about his gaming problems, and then he just also ended the post with, "And so I sign out." And that was a very hard post to read, because I had people doing that in my life and I lost them. And World Mental Health Day is so important. And I see this post from a male that I don't know. I have no idea. And I just see that post because one of the biggest advocates from shutting down casinos and stuff online that ruin people's lives, he responded to that post to get in touch with him. And after that, a lot of comments came in with people, "I'm here, I can help you. Can I speak with you?" Nobody could get a hold of him. And I follow the post and I see that people get out of their homes trying to get to his address, knock on his door, all kinds of things happening. No authority would care about that. No authority. And that's why I think mental health issues and compassion is so tight together to actually let people get out of the biochemical disability you get in when you're depressed and don't know what to do about anything. You could die.
Exactly.
And I'm very grateful about this forum and inclusion. And I realized so much the last 6 months about how people treat each other in certain situations, and that the physical world is much more important as a reality than our inner world. And that is kind of the most dangerous things going on, because people talk about people that took their lives afterwards. Oh, why didn't he say something? Why didn't she say something? We could have helped. We could have understood. Da, da, da. But when a person is in something like this, the shame is paralyzing, and it's very hard. And you have people tell certain things, but it's not straightforward. Like I'm suicidal, or I'm depressed, or whatever. So we need to educate ourselves more about how perceptive we are about the people around us, and how much compassion do we really have, or are we too busy to go on and do our own thing, and we don't care about others, and so forth. So I think this is a very, very, very important topic, because this is who we are, and we need to find more love and compassion, so we get more perceptive of people around us, so they can actually see and feel that we are around. And it's very sad to see that post yesterday. Children lost their dad, all kinds of things around that. So, and I think it's also very, very important for men, boys, to
100%.
have somewhere to go. So I just thank you, MJ, for taking this up this morning, because I think it's an important reminder. Monday morning,
Yes.
how do we want to proceed the week?
This
So,
week,
thank
absolutely.
you.
No, thank you. My shopping's here, my carer's here, but just to wind this up, because I do want to respond before I go, and timing is perfect. Charles is here. He's going to Uganda today. And so he's going to go and see the children on the farm that we on Clubhouse raised £10,000 to buy, because I do care about those 101 orphans. I do care about the other people on the planet. Why? Because they are me. It is all about us. I alluded to it earlier. There is no me, there is no you, there is no we. There's only us. And on this World Mental Health Day week, I wish to proceed with love and compassion. And yeah, I've got one thing that I want you to do today. When you see somebody, whether it's a man or woman or otherwise, I want you to ask how they are. And then I want you to ask again. Because I think when we say, how are you? We get a trite response. I think when we say, how actually are you? And people might just realise that we do care, that we are there, and that we want to make a difference. It doesn't matter whether there's one person or 100 people in this room, because we'll be sharing this on social media. We are on social media, and it will be on our new website, because all of these episodes are going to go on the website, and there's hundreds of them, and they're all really important. So I'm looking forward to you sharing those again and again and again. And we are forging forward. I've been doing this for nearly 3 years, building a library of who and what and how we are, and how we need to proceed in the world on every day, not just World Mental Health Day. I've been Mandy Jane, and you've been absolutely amazing. I'm going to go now and get my shopping, because I'm going to spend this week, caring about everybody, including myself. I love you all, and I'm grateful.